My son-in-law hit me right in the face, and I kept quiet, as if nothing had happened. The next day I handed him an envelope. He thought it contained money for his business. He smiled arrogantly and said, "Finally, you understand," until he opened it and saw what was inside. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. I was alphabetizing my 1987 theater programs when the doorbell rang. The Steppenwolf collection, 38 programs spanning 2 decades, each one a memory of productions that mattered. My fingers rested on the Death of a Salesman program, the one from the revival I directed in Portland, back when my knees still worked, without complaining. The doorbell rang again, insistent. Lena stood on my porch with Garrett behind her, his hand on her shoulder like he owned her. March rain dripped from the awning. "Dad, we need to talk about something important." I stepped aside to let them in. "Of course. Coffee? I just made a fresh pot." "No, we're fine." Garrett moved past Lena, already claiming my living room like territory. "This won't take long." They sat on my couch. Garrett sprawled, Lena perched on the edge. I took my reading chair, the one with the view of my theatrical masks collection on the wall. Garrett's eyes swept the room, calculating. I'd seen that look before in actors sizing up whether a role paid enough. "Silas, I've got this opportunity. Tech consulting contract, but I need capital, too." "How much?" His smile faltered. Reset. 15,000. I know it sounds like a lot, but... Garrett, you still owe me 13,000 from the last 2 opportunities. Those were different. This is guaranteed. I've got a signed letter of intent, and the answer is no. The temperature in the room dropped. Garrett's fingers drummed once on his knee, then stopped. His jaw worked sideways. Lena reached for his arm. "No? Just like that? No discussion?" "Garrett, maybe we should... Stay out of this, Lena. Your father needs to understand family obligations." I kept my voice level, the same tone I'd used directing actors who forgot their blocking. "I understand my pension is $2,400 a month. I understand I'm 68 years old. I understand you've never repaid a cent. You're sitting on savings. You've got this house." He was standing now 3 steps from my chair. "Meanwhile, we're struggling, and you—" I said no. His hand came fast. The slap cracked like a prop gun firing. My head snapped sideways. The metallic taste of blood filled my mouth before I registered the pain. "Oh my God! Garrett, what did you—" Lena's voice came from underwater. He pushed me to it, standing there all high and mighty, like he's too good to help his own daughter. I touched my lip. My fingers came away red. The room tilted, then steadied. Garrett's aggressive pacing knocked over my theatrical mask on the side table. The comedy mask from a production of The Tempest. It landed face up on the carpet, grinning at the ceiling. The timing would have been funny if my face wasn't throbbing. "Say something!" Garrett leaned over me, close enough I could smell his cologne. Expensive. More expensive than my heating bill. I dabbed my lip with my sleeve, tested my jaw. Everything still worked. I looked past him to Lena, frozen halfway between standing and sitting, her hand extended toward me but stopping in midair, like she'd hit an invisible wall. "Get out of my house. You're making a mistake. When you're old and alone, don't come crying to... Out! Now!" He grabbed Lena's arm, yanked her toward the door. She looked back once, her face twisted with something I couldn't name. The door slammed hard enough to rattle the framed poster from my 1994 production of Long Day's Journey into Night. I stood slowly, testing my balance, walked to the bathroom. My reflection showed a split lip already swelling, a darkening bruise spreading across my jaw. The man in the mirror looked older than 68. I wet a washcloth with cold water and pressed it to my face. My phone buzzed from the living room. Once, twice, 3 times. I picked up the Death of a Salesman program I'd been holding when they arrived. The pages had bent where I'd gripped it. I smoothed them carefully, set it back with the others. Everything in its place. Everything organized. My phone kept buzzing. I walked to the window instead. Garrett's black Audi peeled away from the curb, tires squealing on wet pavement. The sound echoed between the houses on my quiet street. Mrs. Chen was walking her terrier across the street. She stopped, looked up at Garrett's car, then at my window. Our eyes met through the glass. Her expression shifted. Concern, recognition. She'd seen something, heard something. Her face told me that much. I pulled out my other phone, the older one I kept for important calls. Scrolled through contacts I hadn't touched in years. Beatrice Logan, attorney at law. We'd worked together on a benefit for Portland Center Stage back in 2018. She'd been sharp then, asked the right questions. My thumb hovered over her name. Behind me, my iPhone continued its insistent buzzing on the coffee table. Garrett's words piling up, unread. Mrs. Chen was still watching my window. I pressed down. Beatrice Logan. Beatrice, it's Silas Blackwood. We worked together on that theater benefit in 18. Silas, of course. How are you? Wait, it's 8:30 in the morning. What's wrong? I pressed the phone between my shoulder and ear, reaching for the coffee pot with my free hand. The kitchen window showed my neighbor's yard, already green with early spring growth. Normal. Everything looked normal. My son-in-law hit me yesterday. I have it on video. The pause stretched long enough I checked if the call had dropped. Are you hurt? Did you call the police? Bruised jaw, split lip, no police yet. I wanted to talk to you first. Smart. Tell me everything, but first, when did the relationship turn bad? I set down my coffee, pulled out the kitchen chair. That's the thing. It didn't turn bad overnight. I spent the night replaying every interaction, every request, every warning sign I'd ignored. The memories came back in fragments, pieces of a show I'd watched without understanding the plot. 3 years ago, I said, Garrett was different. After my knee surgery, he drove me to physical therapy twice a week for 2 months. I could see it clearly. Garrett helping me up the stairs, patient and careful. Easy, Silas. Take the stairs slow. I've got you. I hate being helpless like this. You're not helpless. You just had surgery. Give yourself a break. Back then, his smile had been genuine. He'd made Lena laugh. He'd asked about my directing work, actually listened to my stories about the old days at Portland Center Stage. I'd told Lena she was lucky. Meant it. Beatrice, he was a good son-in-law, for a while. What changed? I opened my filing cabinet, the one where I kept everything organized. Bank statements, receipts, tax returns. Theater directing taught me to track budgets down to the last penny. I spread the papers across my kitchen table. 2 years ago, he came to me. Needed $5,000 for startup costs. Some consulting business. He was nervous, I remember that. His hands shook when he asked, Silas, can we talk privately? Sure, everything okay? Yeah, great actually. I've got this business opportunity, consulting work, but I need startup capital. He'd promised 6 months, said he'd have it notarized if I wanted. I'd written the check, felt good about helping family. He'd hugged me, thanked me 3 times. Genuine gratitude. Or at least I'd believed it was genuine. Did he pay you back? No. 18 months ago he needed $8,000 more. For equipment, he said, to help pay me back faster. That conversation had felt different. His posture, his tone. Silas, I'm family. Don't you want Lena and me to succeed? Not a request. A demand wrapped in family obligation. I touched my bruised jaw while talking, winced. After that, it was text messages. Constant pressure. I pulled up my phone, scrolled through months of messages. He texted me about buying a $200 TV, said it must be nice to have money for luxuries. Then he mentioned Lena's friend's dad helped them buy a house. Just saying. Not asking for a handout. Just pointing out some parents actually help their kids. 68 years old, and I'm reading guilt trip messages like some teenage drama. The irony wasn't lost on me. So he's borrowed $13,000 total. Borrowed implies he plans to return it. Fair point. And yesterday was the first physical violence? Yes. I pulled my iPhone toward me, opened the camera, tried to photograph my bruised face. The angle was wrong. I looked like I was taking what my grandson called a sad selfie. Tried again. Better. The bruise showed clearly, purple spreading toward my ear. But Beatrice, it's the pattern. He's been escalating for months. My other phone buzzed. FaceTime call. Quinn's name appeared. I ignored it. Would call him back later. Couldn't handle that conversation yet. Do you have documentation, text messages, bank records? I looked at the pile of papers on my table. Bank statements showing both checks to Garrett. Printed text messages. The timeline I'd written at 3 a.m, unable to sleep. I have everything. Good. Because Silas, I need you to not contact Garrett. No calls, no texts, nothing. Can you do that? I stared at my phone. 17 unread messages from Garrett, each notification a little accusation. The newest had come in 2 minutes ago. My finger hovered over it. Silas, are you listening? Outside, a car engine cut through the morning quiet. I moved to the window. Garrett's Audi sat at the curb, engine idling. He was visible in the driver's seat, staring at my house, not moving, just staring. His hands gripped the steering wheel. I stepped back from the window. Beatrice, I said quietly, I need to call you back. Beatrice, he's still out there, just sitting. Call 911 if he approaches the house. I'm serious, Silas. Through the window, Garrett's Audi engine revved, once, twice. The headlights cut across Mrs. Chen's yard. No, he's leaving now, turning the corner. Good. Now listen carefully. Tomorrow morning, meet me at the courthouse at 9. We're filing assault charges. That fast? When there's video evidence of assault? Yes, that fast. You do have the video, right? My mind went blank. Video? What video? Then it hit me. The doorbell camera. The one I'd installed last year after someone stole a package containing Lena's birthday present. I'd completely forgotten about it. I need to check something. Let me call you back. I hung up and pulled out my phone, scrolling through apps until I found Ring. My hands shook, clicking through menus. Security. Events. Yesterday. 4:47 p.m. There it was. Thumbnail showed Garrett and Lena on my porch. I pressed play. The video showed everything. Garrett's face contorting when I refused the money. My calm response. The escalation. Then his hand rising, the slap echoing tinny through my phone speaker, my head snapping sideways. Blood visible on my lip even in the camera's resolution. Lena frozen, reaching but not reaching. I watched it 3 times. Each replay, my jaw clenched tighter. The 3rd time, I paused at the moment of impact. Garrett's expression wasn't just angry. It was satisfied, like he'd been wanting to do that for months. At 11:30, I called Beatrice back. I have it. The whole thing. Clear as day. Send it to me. Now. We file first thing tomorrow. The next morning, Multnomah County Courthouse smelled like floor polish and anxiety. Beatrice met me at the entrance, wearing a gray suit that meant business. We rode the elevator to the 3rd floor, past people holding folders and avoiding eye contact. The clerk processed paperwork with practiced efficiency. Mr. Blackwood, the court date is May 14th. That's 6 weeks. Service of summons must occur within... I'll handle delivery personally. Beatrice's hand landed on my arm. Mr. Blackwood, we typically use process servers for... I said I'll handle it. Outside the courthouse, she pulled me aside. This is a terrible idea. You're emotional, and he hit me in my own home. I'm delivering this to his. She studied my face, measuring stubbornness against reason. Fine. But you deliver it, you leave. No conversation. No engagement. I drove to the Pearl District with the manila envelope on my passenger seat. Garrett lived in one of those modern buildings with a doorman and rooftop yoga studio. Guy owed me $13,000, but kept up appearances. The math still wasn't mathing. I texted him from the parking garage. Need to drop something off. His reply came in seconds. Finally, come up. 412. The elevator had mirrors on all sides. My reflection looked older than 68. The bruise on my jaw had bloomed purple-black overnight. Garrett answered the door in workout clothes, removing an AirPod. Sweat darkened his shirt collar. Silas, what are you... I extended the envelope. This is for you. His face transformed. That entitled smile I'd seen 1,000 times. Finally came to your senses, old man. I knew you'd... He snatched it from my hand before I could finish. Through the open door, I saw moving boxes stacked against the wall. Cheap furniture, despite the expensive building. See reason. 15,000, right? Or did you make it 20 to cover the trouble? I said nothing, just watched. He tore the envelope open, still talking. You know, this is what family does. We help each other. And once my business takes off, I'll... The words died. He read, reread. The paper slipped from his fingers. Caught, read again. What the... This is a... Court summons, assault and battery. You'll find the hearing date on page 2. The color drained from his face like someone pulled a plug. This is insane. You're suing me? Criminal complaint, actually. The district attorney is prosecuting. For what? We had a disagreement. That's not... You hit me. In my home. It's on camera. His eyes widened, real fear flickering now. Camera? What camera? See you in court, son. I turned toward the elevator. His hand shot out, gripping my shoulder. Wait! Silas, wait! This is a misunderstanding. I barely touched you. I kept walking. His voice escalated behind me, bouncing off the hallway walls. I'll fight this. You're trying to destroy my life over nothing. The elevator doors opened. I stepped inside. Nothing? My split lip says otherwise. You'll regret this. I'm calling Lena. She'll tell them it was nothing. The doors started closing. Through the gap, I saw his desperate face. She was there. She saw everything. Silas, don't do this. We can work this out. In my car, I sat with the engine running. My phone started buzzing immediately. Garrett, pick up your phone. Garrett, pick up. Garrett, you're making the biggest mistake of your life. I pulled out of the parking garage. Halfway to the exit, it hit me. I told him about the camera, given away my evidence. Beatrice's voice echoed in my head. Emotional decisions overriding legal strategy. I pulled over on Burnside, called her. I told him about the camera. I shouldn't have said anything. Her sigh carried disappointment and resignation. No, you shouldn't have. But what's done is done. We adapt. 68 years old and Ring doorbell technology saves the day. My generation protested Vietnam. His generation can't figure out privacy settings. Advantage. Boomers. Garrett. I have witnesses too. Garrett. Lena will never forgive you for this. I drove home through afternoon traffic. At a Fred Meyer parking lot, my phone erupted with new calls. Not Garrett this time. Lena. 4 missed calls in 6 minutes. I pulled in, engine idling. Watched a young couple loading groceries, laughing about something. The man stole a kiss. She swatted him with a baguette. I remembered Lena and Garrett like that once. 3 years ago, maybe 4. Before money became the only thing he saw when he looked at our family. The phone rang again. My thumb hovered over accept. Dad, what did you... Her voice cracked, already crying. Behind her, Garrett's voice. Tell him this is insane. I closed my eyes. 2 days of silence from me didn't stop Garrett from filling the void. 47 text messages in 48 hours. If he put that much effort into his businesses, he might actually turn a profit. Beatrice's office sat near Pioneer Courthouse Square, above a coffee shop that perfumed the stairwell with burnt espresso. Her conference room had windows overlooking the square, where lunch crowds gathered around food carts. I spread everything on her table. Medical report from urgent care, split lip, contused jaw, recommended follow-up if pain persisted, photos of my bruised face from 3 angles, printed text threads organized in folders, the doorbell video queued on my phone. Walk me through the video one more time, Beatrice said. Do we have to? I lived it once. The DA will make you watch it 20 times. Better you're prepared. She connected my phone to her monitor. The video played large enough to see every detail. Doorbell chime. Door opening. Voices escalating. Garrett's body language. Invasion of space. Then the wind-up. There. Watch his body language. She paused it. An impact. Clean shot. No ambiguity. Your head snaps 6 inches to the left. Beatrice, I was there. But the jury wasn't. This video puts them in your doorway. It's powerful. She made notes in her legal pad, pen moving fast. Between the video, medical documentation, and his subsequent threats, we have a solid case. Solid. Not ironclad. Criminal cases require proof beyond reasonable doubt. Video gets us 90% there. What's the other 10%? Witness testimony. Someone who heard the altercation can verify your account. My neighbor, Mrs. Chen, she walked past right after, looked through my window. Beatrice leaned forward. Can she testify to what she heard? Saw? I'll get her statement today. Good. Independent witnesses matter. Shows pattern, confirms timeline. My phone buzzed on the table. New message from Garrett. Lena's crying because of you. Hope you're proud. Beatrice glanced at it. Each one is evidence of intimidation. He's building our case for us. They just keep coming. I scrolled back. Day 1, he wrote, this is a mistake. Day 2, I'll make you regret this. Don't respond. Let him keep talking. Beatrice's office coffee tasted like legal strategy. Bitter, strong, cost more than you'd expect. I drank 3 cups anyway. That afternoon, I knocked on Mrs. Chen's door. No answer. Knocked again. The door opened, but instead of Mrs. Chen, a young man in his 20s appeared. Behind him, I saw suitcases in the hallway. Can I help you? I'm looking for Mrs. Chen. I'm her neighbor, Silas. Oh, she mentioned you. I'm her nephew, Jason. She left yesterday for Taiwan. Family wedding. Won't be back until July. The words took a moment to land. July. The court date was May 14th. Did she mention anything about Monday? Something she might have seen? Monday? No, nothing. Is everything okay? I walked back to my car on autopilot, sat with my head against the steering wheel, called Beatrice. We have a problem. She won't testify? She can't. Taiwan until July. Trial is May 14th. Long pause. That's unfortunate. We'll need to find another angle. What angle? She was my corroboration. Silas, calm down. The video is still strong. You said we needed 90+%. You said witnesses matter. And they do. But cases are won with what we have, not what we wish we had. I'd just assumed Mrs. Chen would be available, willing, ready. Didn't ask, didn't confirm. Theater directing taught me to control every element, but I'd forgotten to verify this cast member could make the performance. That evening, my phone rang during dinner. Frozen lasagna, eating alone at my kitchen counter. Lena's name appeared. I debated letting it go to voicemail. On the 5th ring, I answered. Dad, please pick up. Please. Lena, he's falling apart. He can't eat, can't sleep. He's having panic attacks. He hit me. I know. But this, criminal charges, you're destroying his life. I opened my refrigerator, closed it, paste. He destroyed my trust, my sense of safety in my own home. He made a mistake. One mistake. People forgive mistakes. This wasn't a mistake, honey. Mistakes are accidents. He chose to raise his hand. She sobbed into the phone. I can't choose between you. I won't. I'm not asking you to choose. I'm asking him to face consequences. Consequences? He could go to jail, Dad. He could. Yes. You sound so cold. This isn't you. The dad I know is kind, and the dad you know didn't have his son-in-law's handprint on his face. Long silence. Just her breathing. Ragged. Exhausted. Lena, if you do this, if you go through with this, I don't know if I can forgive you. My hand touched the photo on my refrigerator. Lena at 8 years old, gap-toothed smile, holding a trophy from her school play. I'd directed that play. She'd been so proud. He's my husband. My husband. And you're making me watch while I what? Defend myself? Stand up for basic respect? While you ruin everything. The line went dead. I stood at my kitchen window, city lights spreading toward the hills. Poured bourbon, unusual for me, and stared at that photo. Almost picked up my phone to text Beatrice to drop everything. Put it down. Picked it up again. Maybe Lena was right. Maybe I was going too far. My phone buzzed one more time. Not Garrett, not Lena. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. Done with phones for tonight. But something made me check. A text from someone saved as Xander C. in my contacts, though I didn't remember adding the name. We should talk. I have information about Garrett you'll want to hear. He did to me what he's doing to you. Attached. A photo of a legal document. I zoomed in. Partnership dissolution agreement. Dated 3 years ago. Garrett's signature at the bottom. Below it, handwritten. Still owes me $31,000. I sat forward. Bourbon forgotten. Who the hell was Xander C.? I clicked reply. I stared at Xander's text. Partnership dissolution agreement. $31,000. Someone else Garrett had screwed. My thumb hovered over reply, but Beatrice's voice echoed in my head. No more emotional decisions. I set the phone down, poured the bourbon back into the bottle. Tomorrow. I'd think clearly tomorrow. Tomorrow came with bad news. My phone rang at 8:30. Beatrice. I knew before answering. Silas, it's Beatrice. Are you sitting down? What now? Mrs. Chen's nephew called our office. She's not on vacation. She's relocated to Taiwan for 4 months. Family health situation. The coffee pot slipped. I caught it. 4 months? The trial is in 6 weeks. I'm aware. We'll need to proceed without her testimony. You said we needed witnesses. You said the 10% gap. And the video covers most of that gap. But I won't lie to you. Independent corroboration would have been stronger. How much stronger? The difference between 95% certainty and 85%. I paced my kitchen. The coffee I'd poured sat untouched, going cold. Those numbers aren't comforting, Beatrice. They're realistic, which is what you hired me for. After we hung up, I grabbed my keys, needed to drive, clear my head. Found myself heading toward the Providence Hospital, Lena's workplace. Maybe I could catch her on lunch, talk without Garrett in her ear. Garrett's Audi sat in the visitor parking lot. I pulled into a spot 3 rows back. Through the cafeteria windows, I saw them. Garrett talking fast, animated, pointing at his phone. Lena crying, shoulders hunched. He showed her the screen. Her body language shifted, defeated, resigned. My phone buzzed. Garrett, heard your witness flew the coop? I watched him through the window. He was typing. Phone in one hand, Lena's hand in the other. Garrett, told you, old man. No witnesses, no case. My hands gripped the steering wheel, knuckles white. Garrett, maybe now you'll drop this nonsense before you embarrass yourself. Through the window, Garrett looked scared. His gestures weren't confident. They were desperate. He was trying to convince Lena, convince himself, that he was winning. When she cried, his face showed panic, not satisfaction. He gripped her hand like a life preserver. Then he pulled out his phone, showed her something. His expression shifted. Calculating, cold. The humanity vanished. Garrett, Lena agrees this has gone far enough. I drove home too fast. Ran a stop sign. Cop didn't notice, but the car behind me honked. Didn't care. At home, I poured bourbon, stared at my phone, typed a response to Garrett, deleted it, typed again, deleted. My laptop sat open on the counter. Facebook page staring at me. 3 theater directors had posted photos from last week's benefit. Comments about the good old days. How I should come back. Direct again. All that normalcy. Meanwhile, my son-in-law was gloating about destroying my case. I clicked into the status box. Typed, my son-in-law thinks he can assault me without consequences. Deleted. Too specific. Typed, family doesn't mean you get to be violent. Deleted. Too obvious. The bourbon glass emptied. I poured another. Typed, some people think family means you can do anything without consequences. They're wrong. Truth always comes out. Stared at it. Vague enough. No names mentioned. Clicked post. Gerald from Portland Center Stage commented within 30 seconds. Everything okay? Another director. What happened? I refreshed. 4 comments asking questions. My phone buzzed. Screenshot from Garrett. Just the image. My Facebook post. No words needed. The next text. Thanks for the evidence. Character defamation. See you in court. My stomach dropped. I clicked delete on the post. Too late. He had the screenshot. Garrett. Checked with my attorney. Your little Facebook stunt. Textbook harassment. Garrett. We're filing a counterclaim. Defamation of character. Garrett. Keep digging that hole, old man. My phone rang. Beatrice. I stared at it for 3 rings before answering. Silas, I made a mistake. What kind of mistake? Her voice already sounded tired. A Facebook post about the situation. No names, but tell me you're joking. He already screenshot it. Silas, I explicitly told you not to post publicly. I know I wasn't thinking. I was angry about the witness, and... Angry? You were stupid. Do you understand what you've handed him? The word hit like another slap. I deleted it immediately. Doesn't matter. He has the screenshot. His attorney will use this to paint you as vindictive, using the legal system for revenge rather than justice. It wasn't revenge. It was frustration. Try explaining that to a judge. Your Honor, I wasn't seeking revenge. I was just publicly shaming my son-in-law before trial. See how that sounds? What do I do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. No more posts. No more comments. No more anything online. You've done enough damage. She hung up. I sat in darkness. Didn't turn on lights when evening came. The theater program I'd been holding, some production from 1987, sat crumpled in my lap. I'd bent the pages. Never bent the pages. Spent 40 years directing plays before live audiences. Somehow a Facebook post to 43 friends is what trips me up. The Greeks would have loved this hubris. The house creaked around me. Midnight. The bourbon bottle sat on the counter, cap off. I hadn't poured another glass. Wouldn't. That's how I got here. I picked up my phone. 17 notifications, mostly Facebook drama I didn't care about. Scrolled past them. Found yesterday's text, the one I'd ignored in the panic. We should talk. I have information about Garrett you'll want to hear. He did to me what he's doing to you. From Xander C. Partnership Dissolution Agreement attached. Garrett's signature clear. Below, still owes me $31,000. My thumb hovered over reply. Outside, a car alarm chirped. I typed, when can we meet? Send. 3 dots appeared immediately. Someone was waiting. The response, tomorrow, 10 a.m., Stumptown Coffee on Division. I'll be wearing a Blazers cap. And Silas, don't tell anyone. Not your daughter, not your attorney. Not yet. He has eyes everywhere. I read it twice. The dots appeared again. I mean it. He finds out I'm talking to you. This ends before it starts. I typed, how do you know my number? The response took longer this time. Same way I know he hit you. Same way I know about the court date. Same way I know... The dot stopped. Started again. About all his other victims. I arrived at Stumptown Coffee 15 minutes early. Sat in my car watching the entrance. Old habit from casting sessions. Observe people before they know you're watching. See who they really are. Xander Cole entered at 9:52. Also early. Careful. Blazers cap as promised. Maybe 42. Fit. Business casual. Expensive watch. Not broke. Nervous energy, though. He scanned the room twice. Ordered coffee. Sat with his back to the wall. Checked his phone repeatedly. Defensive position. Waiting for threat or opportunity. Couldn't tell which. I entered at 9:58. Direct approach. He recognized me instantly. Silas Blackwood? I shook his hand. Xander Cole, I presume. Thanks for coming. Wasn't sure you would. You said you had information. I need all I can get right now. He slid a folder across the table before speaking. Evidence first, talk later. I opened it. Partnership documents, financial records. Photos of bruising across someone's torso. Dark purple. Nasty. When did this happen? April 2022, 3 years ago. Different victim, same playbook. I studied the photos. Xander's hands stayed steady but gripped his coffee cup hard. The bruising showed impact patterns. Someone had hit something hard, or something had hit them. We were partners. Tech consulting startup, his idea. My capital. 20,000 initial investment, another 11 in operating costs. Let me guess. The business failed. Oh, it succeeded. That's the thing. We had clients, revenue, growth. Then Garrett started moving money, paying himself consulting fees I never approved, using company card for personal expenses. You confronted him. Conference room, 2 in the afternoon. I had bank statements, credit card records. Asked where $31,000 went. And he pushed you? Shoved me into the filing cabinet. I cracked 2 ribs on the drawer handles. He lifted his shirt slightly, pointed to a scar. Still have this. I touched my own faded bruise unconsciously. Recognition. Did you press charges? I tried. He claimed I tripped. His word against mine. No witnesses. Sound familiar? The coffee shop noise faded. Just 2 men, different generations, same abuser. What happened to the business? I signed a settlement, got pennies on the dollar, NDA to keep quiet. He walked away, started fresh, found new marks. You're just the latest. Why risk the NDA? Why help me? Because I was a coward. I took the settlement, stayed quiet, let him do it again. I see the news. I see his name attached to new ventures. I know he's still out there. But why now? Why me? Lena mentioned you at a family gathering last year. Said her dad was a director. Portland Center Stage. I Googled you. Respected. Decent. When I heard about the assault charge through mutual friends, I knew he'd finally picked the wrong target. You're risking a lawsuit. Let him sue. I kept everything. And there's no NDA against telling the truth to law enforcement. Your case is criminal, not civil. I can testify. I leaned back. How many others? At least 3 I know of. Maybe more who stayed quiet. 3? Plus me makes 4. That I can confirm. There's a guy in Seattle. Another in Beaverton. Same pattern. Partnership or loan. Promises, then pressure, sometimes violence. Your case is different, though. You have video. The others didn't. That's why I reached out. You can actually win. In my car afterward, hands shaking from adrenaline, I scrolled through old contacts. Found Goldie Martinez. Theater critic, occasional investigative journalist. We'd worked a benefit together 8 years ago. Goldie Martinez. Goldie, it's Silas Blackwood, from Portland Center Stage. Pause. Her voice warmed. Silas, how many years? 10? 8, since the benefit. How's the theater criticism business? Pays the bills. What can I do for you? Please tell me you're directing again. Not exactly, but I have a story you might find interesting. Investigative angle. Interest sharpened in her voice. I'm listening. Local entrepreneur. Pattern of fraud, manipulation. Started in tech startups. Expanded to personal relationships. Multiple victims. Some violence. Names? Not yet. But I can connect you with sources. Multiple witnesses. Documents, if you're interested. Silas, you're describing my favorite kind of story. When can we talk properly? Soon. I need to verify a few things first. But Goldie? This one's personal. My son-in-law. Long pause. Are you the victim? One of them. Then I'm very interested. At 2, Beatrice arrived at my house. I'd spread Xander's documents across my desk. Timeline visible. Pattern emerging. Beatrice, I found a witness. Better than the neighbor. How much better? Someone Garrett assaulted 3 years ago. Has medical records, evidence, pattern of violence. She stopped mid-note. That's exactly what we needed. Who is he? Former business partner. Garrett shoved him during money dispute. Cracked his ribs. Did he file charges? Civil settlement. NDA. Her face fell. Silas, if he's under NDA, criminal case exception, he can testify about assault without violating NDA. That's actually correct. Did he tell you that? He's smarter than he looks. Kept everything. Documents, communications, medical records. I need to meet him. Tomorrow. Already arranged. He's coming at 2. She studied the documents. This is good, Silas. Really good. Pattern of violence is hard to defend against. You sound surprised. I'm surprised you found him. How did that happen? He found me, heard about the case, reached out. That's convenient. How did he hear about a criminal case that hasn't been publicized? He knows Lena. Family gathering last year. I'm not questioning his motives, just making sure we understand them. 3 hours after she left, the phone rang. Unknown number. Mr. Blackwood, male voice, older, uncertain. This is Leo Brennan, from Seattle. Goldie Martinez gave me your number. I sat forward. The Seattle victim, already. She said you're going after Garrett Simmons. Legally. Is that true? It is. Good. The word came sharp, bitter, because I'm tired of keeping quiet. That son of a bitch took $43,000 from me, and when I asked for it back, he came to my house. My house? Threatened my wife. I gripped the phone. Tell me everything. Not on the phone. Can you come to Seattle? I have something you need to see. Something that'll bury him. I checked my watch. 4 hours to Seattle. Tomorrow morning. Where? My attorney's office. And Mr. Blackwood. Bring your lawyer. We're not the only ones. There's a woman in Beaverton. Goldie's tracking her down. If we all come forward together, we can show a pattern. We can show he's a predator. I wrote down the address. Texted Beatrice. Road trip to Seattle tomorrow. You're going to want to hear this. Her response, what did you do? I typed, I went off script. Improvised. Isn't that what directors do? The Seattle skyline emerged through morning fog. 4 hours in the car, white-knuckling the steering wheel while Beatrice dozed in the passenger seat. She'd insisted on coming, didn't trust me alone anymore. Smart woman. Leo's attorney practiced in a modern building near Pike Place Market. Glass and steel, expensive views. Leo stood when we entered, nervous energy radiating. We embraced awkwardly, family by marriage, strangers by proximity. Thank you for coming. His voice cracked slightly. Leo, we're family. I should have called you 2 years ago. Should have verified, should have. He's good at making people believe. That's his talent. Leo's attorney, sharp woman in her 50s named Patricia, gestured to the conference table. Documents already spread out. She'd prepared for weeks. I sat, saw my wife's name on a bank transfer. My hand froze mid-reach. March 2023, Leo said, reading from notes he'd prepared. Garrett called me out of the blue. Said he needed to talk about Lena, but in person. That's when he told you she was sick? Beatrice's pen poised over her legal pad. Chronic condition. Needed specialists. Insurance wouldn't cover. He showed me estimates. $12,000 for treatment protocol. I already knew the answer. You asked Lena about this? He said she'd be humiliated. Young woman, independent, Didn't want parents knowing she couldn't afford her own health care. Leo's shame was visible. He cried, Silas. Actual tears. Said he was trying to be strong for her but was scared. I'm her uncle. How could I not help? Patricia slid her phone across the table. Text messages from Garrett to Leo. I read them silently. March 15th. Lena's latest test results concerning. Doctor recommends immediate treatment. I hate asking, but we're $12K short. April 2nd. Treatment scheduled. You saved her life, Leo. She'll never know, but I know. My jaw clenched. He wrote, You saved her life about a disease she didn't have. There's more. Leo's voice dropped. About your wife. The room tilted slightly. What about her? Her estate lawyer contacted me last month. Found correspondence while settling final tax issues. She gave him $8,000. I stood, walked to the window. Seattle sprawling below, normal people living normal lives. For emergency treatment. Garrett told her not to worry you because you were stressed about retirement. 8,000. The number meant nothing. Everything. She died in September 2022, right? Patricia's voice. Professional. Gentle. She died not knowing. I turned back. She died thinking our daughter was sick and she saved her. He let her die believing that lie. Leo stood, hand on my shoulder. Family solidarity. We stood like that for a long moment. There's more, Patricia said. Apologetic. Leo's phone rang. He glanced at the screen. Speak of the devil. Speakerphone. Woman's voice, shaky, older. Leo, is it true about Garrett? I recognized her. Beulah, my wife's sister in San Diego. Beulah, I'm here with Silas and lawyers. Oh, God. Silas, I'm so sorry. I should have... How much did he take from you? Direct. I needed to know. 15,000. He said Lena needed surgery. Showed me medical documents, hospital estimates. Everything looked real. It all looked real. The pattern was clear now. I'm a nurse. I read those documents. They had hospital letterhead, doctor signatures. Her voice cracked. But Lena is okay? She's not sick? She was never sick. He made it all up. The sound of Beulah breaking down carried through the speaker. After we hung up, I punched the table. Once. Hard. Coffee cups jumped. Beatrice watched me carefully. We drove back in silence for the first hour. Then my phone rang. Quinn. Dad, why aren't you answering? Leo called me. Told me everything. I'm thinking of dropping it. All of it. Because of Mom? Because Lena doesn't deserve to learn her mother died thinking... Dad. Listen. Mom would want the truth. Always. You know that. This truth will hurt. Not as much as letting him keep doing it. What if there's another family? Another sick relative he targets? I pulled into a rest stop. Sat there, engine idling. Beatrice tactfully checked her phone, gave me space. Dad, you still there? I'm here. My voice broke. I'm still here. At home, I spread all the documents across my desk. Family tree emerging. Every victim someone I knew, loved. My wife's photo stared at me from the shelf. Why didn't you tell me? Calculator out. Total stolen. Over $60,000 from dead and vulnerable relatives. The bourbon bottle was getting low. I noticed that. Poured anyway. My finger hovered over Beatrice's number. Almost called to say stop. Not worth it. Quinn's voice echoed. Mom wouldn't quit. 10 p.m. The house dark. I didn't bother with lights. Laptop opened to Portland Monthly's website. Goldie's article goes live in 36 hours. One call could stop it. Phone rang. Lena. I stared at her name. 5 rings. 6 answered. Dad? Her voice small, young. 8 years old again. I'm here, honey. I need to tell you something about Mom. About before she died. Garrett said... My blood froze. Garrett said Mom was helping us with money. That she knew we were struggling. That she wanted to help but asked him not to tell you because you'd refuse. He was covering his tracks. If Lena believed her mother intentionally gave them money, she wouldn't question where it went. Dad, are you there? Honey, what did Mom tell you? Directly? Nothing. She never mentioned it, but Garrett said... What Garrett said and what happened are 2 different things. Come over. Tomorrow morning. There's something you need to see. Dad, you're scaring me. I know. I'm sorry. But you deserve the truth. All of it. What truth? I looked at the documents. Wife's signature, Leo's bank transfer, Beulah's forged card with Lena's handwriting. About who you married. Silence. Then background noise. Garrett's voice. Who are you talking to? Is that your father? I have to go. Lena, don't. Tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know. I need to think. She hung up. I sat in darkness. Tomorrow, the article publishes. Tomorrow, Lena learns everything. Tomorrow, no going back. Opened laptop. Emailed. Goldie, publish it. Closed laptop. Poured bourbon. My hand didn't shake this time. I'd decided. 7 a.m. Kitchen table. Coffee untouched. Laptop open to Portland Monthly's homepage. Refreshing every 30 seconds. The article appeared at 7:15. The charm offensive, when entrepreneurs prey on family. I scrolled through it. Goldie had been careful. No names, but details specific enough. Portland area tech consultant. Pattern of loans from family members. Allegations of violence. Screenshot. Forwarded to Beatrice, Quinn, Leo. It's live. Phone exploded at 7:30. Theater friends sharing on Facebook with comments. This sounds like someone we know. View counter 2,000, then 5,000, then 8,000 by 9 a.m. Email from Portland Center Stage. Saw the article. If you need anything. The community was rallying, also making it obvious who the article was about. Doorbell at noon. Unexpected. Lena stood there, face red, eyes swollen. She walked past me without greeting, straight to the kitchen table. Threw her phone down. My coworkers are asking if this is Garrett. I pulled out the folder I'd prepared, slid it across the table. Her hands shook opening it. Saw her mother's name. Reading the forged card with her own signature, her hands went rigid. Stood abruptly, paced, came back, read again. This isn't real. This can't be real. I showed her the bank transfers, timestamps, amounts. Her finger traced her mother's signature, memorized from childhood. She collapsed into the chair, head in hands, silent for 5 minutes. I need to go home. I need to hear this from him. 2 hours later, my phone rang. Lena, crying. He denied everything. Said you fabricated the documents, that you're having a breakdown. Did you believe him? No, but Dad, her voice cracked. He called my hospital. What? He told HR you're dangerous, that I might not be safe around you. My stomach dropped. Lena, security pulled me from my shift, asked if you've threatened me, if I'm safe at home. My supervisor was there, Dad. They're talking about suspension. I gripped the phone. That son of a... This is my fault. No, this is him. This is what he does. But I knew better. The lawsuit, the article, the Facebook post. I'd given him ammunition. Process server arrived at 3 p.m. Papers for a countersuit. Defamation of character. $500,000. I laughed. Couldn't help it. Dark humor. I'm 68 with $45,000 in savings. If he wins, he can have my Honda and my theater program collection. Good luck selling those on eBay. Called Beatrice. She'd already received her copy. It's garbage. Slap suit. Designed to intimidate. It's working. Don't let it. Focus on the criminal case. An hour later, cease and desist letters arrived by email. To me, Beatrice, Goldie, Portland Monthly. Legal threats. Immediate retraction demanded. Portland Monthly's response came fast. We stand by our reporting. But privately, sitting in my dark kitchen, I questioned everything. Article published at 7 a.m. By noon, Lena's job was threatened. Theater people don't do anything by half measures, including righteous indignation. But neither did Garrett. Quinn called at 7. Dad, I saw the article. It's everywhere. So is the lawsuit, and Lena's job is at risk. That's strategy. He knows you can't stand her getting hurt. It's working? So what do? I don't know anymore, Quinn. I wanted justice. Now I'm destroying her life. Short term, long term, she's free of him. Unless he wins her back or ruins her career. Would you rather have done nothing? Long pause. Honest answer. Ask me when this is over. 10 p.m. Phone rang. Beatrice. This late meant bad news. Garrett's attorney just sent an email. Discovery request. They want your emails, texts, phone records, social media accounts, bank statements, medical records. Can they do this? They'll try, looking for anything to discredit you. I scrolled through the list. 5 years of communications. My whole life. Beatrice, I post stupid things on Facebook. I complain about Garrett in texts to Quinn. That's normal. Normal doesn't win lawsuits. My laptop chimed. Email from Garrett directly. Subject, final offer. Don't open it, Beatrice said. Forward to me. but I was already opening it. Dear Silas, I'm willing to settle all disputes if you drop the criminal charges. I'll forgive the article. Withdraw the countersuit. Leave Lena's hospital alone. All you have to do is walk away. You've made your point. I've learned my lesson. Let's end this before anyone else gets hurt. You have 24 hours. After that, I'll destroy everything you love. G. Silas, did you open it? I stared at destroy everything you love. Lena, her job, my reputation. What else? Yeah, I opened it. And? He's offering to settle if I drop charges? Absolutely not. The DA is prosecuting. You can't drop charges even if you wanted to. But I could ask the DA to drop them. Refuse to cooperate. That's exactly what he wants. I looked at Lena's photo. 8 years old. Gap-toothed smile. Before Garrett. Before any of this. What if he's right? What if this does destroy everything? Then we rebuild, but we don't let him win by threatening you. Another email. Attachment. Subject. Thought you should see this. I opened it. Photo. Lena and Garrett. From tonight. Together. Kissing. She went back to him. That photo Garrett sent, Lena kissing him, was from 6 months ago. I learned that later. Old ammunition saved for the right moment. He was good at that. May 14th. Multnomah County Courthouse. I walked through metal detectors, emptied my pockets, felt surreal doing normal security theater before my son-in-law's assault trial. Beatrice met me in the marble hallway. Her heels clicked. Mine squeaked. The acoustics made everything echo. Ready? No. Good answer. Courtroom 4B was smaller than TV courtrooms. Maybe 40 seats. Garrett sat across the aisle with his chief attorney. We didn't look at each other, both studying the floor like it held answers. The bailiff called, "All rise." Judge entered, woman 50s, stern face that suggested she'd heard every excuse. We sat on hard wooden benches. The DA presented methodically. First, the video. Lights dimmed. My doorbell footage played on a screen. My voice, Garrett's escalation, the slap echoing tinny through courtroom speakers, my head snapping sideways. I watched people watching. The judge's face stayed neutral, but I saw a juror note-taker's eyebrows rise. Garrett stared at the table. His attorney whispered urgently. The video ended. Lights up. Silence stretched. Your Honor, the prosecutor said, the defense can claim many things, but they cannot claim this didn't happen. Medical evidence next. Photos of my bruised jaw from 3 angles. Urgent care documentation. The text message threats, all 47 of them, scrolling across the screen like a prosecution highlight reel. Xander Cole testified. Sworn in, sat confidently. His story. 2022 partnership, money disputes, the shove, cracked ribs. He lifted his shirt slightly, showed the scar from the filing cabinet edge. Physical proof. Cross-examination tried to shake him. You have financial motive to lie. I want him to stop hurting people. The money's long gone. You signed an NDA. You're violating it. Criminal testimony exception. Your client should have read the fine print. The judge suppressed a smile. Leo testified via video from Seattle. Financial fraud pattern. My wife's money. Beulah's. His own $12,000. The web expanding on screen. Then recess. I stood in the hallway, legs shaky. Saw her through the courthouse doors. Lena, walking purposefully toward the prosecution team, speaking quietly. The prosecutor nodding. I approached. Lena. Don't. Not yet. I need to do this first. Court resumed. The prosecutor stood. Your Honor, we have one additional witness. Lena Blackwood Simmons. Garrett's head snapped up. Color drained from his face. His attorney objected. This wasn't disclosed. Ambush. She's listed as potential witness. Objection overruled. Lena walked to the stand. Hand on Bible. Voice steady. I do. She wore her nursing scrubs. Visual credibility. Mrs. Simmons, you're the defendant's wife and the victim's daughter. Technically still married, but yes. Were you present on March 20th when the alleged assault occurred? I was, in my father's living room. Can you describe what you witnessed? Her hands gripped the rail, knuckles white, voice steady. My husband asked my father for $15,000. My father declined. My husband became angry, very angry. He slapped my father across the face, hard. I saw it clearly. What did you do? Nothing. I froze. I was shocked. I should have done something. But I didn't. Why are you testifying today? Because silence is complicity, and I'm done being complicit. Cross-examination tried to discredit her. You've been living with your father since this incident? Yes. Doesn't testifying against your husband benefit you financially in the divorce? I'm testifying because it's the truth. Garrett stood suddenly. This is bullshit. She's lying. He got to her. The judge's gavel cracked. Mr. Simmons, sit down. She saw nothing. She's making it up. He's manipulating. Sit down, or you'll be removed. Garrett shook off his attorney's hand, stood again. You can't do this. This is my wife. She's... Bailiff, remove the defendant. Garrett being escorted out, still yelling, doors closing on his voice. The courtroom silent except for someone coughing nervously. You may step down, the judge told Lena. Thank you for your testimony. The verdict came after lunch. Judge reviewing notes, clock ticking audibly, everyone frozen. I've reviewed all evidence, testimony, and applicable law. The video evidence is clear and unambiguous. The medical documentation corroborates the injury. The witness testimony establishes a pattern of behavior. Garrett stood with his attorney, face blank. Mr. Simmons, I find you guilty of assault and battery in the 4th degree. His knees buckled. Attorney steadied him. Sentencing. Restraining order. 100 yards. 90 days jail. Suspended pending anger management completion and restitution payment. $8,500 compensation. 3,200 court costs. Any violation means immediate incarceration. Do you understand the terms? Garrett, barely audible. Yes. Court adjourned. Garrett escorted out, a side door. I stood slowly, legs shaky. Found Lena in the hallway by the window overlooking the city. Thank you. Don't. I should have done it weeks ago. We left separately. Met at my car. She got in passenger seat without speaking. I started the engine. Downtown Portland spread out before us. Buildings against gray sky. I pulled into traffic. Radio stayed off. Silence heavy but not hostile. Exhausted. I need to stop by the house, she said finally. Get some things. I'll come with you. No, I need to do this alone. Okay. More silence. Miles passing. Was it worth it, Dad? I didn't answer. Didn't have one yet. 3 weeks later, I made coffee for 2. Habit now. Lena's shower ran upstairs. She was getting ready for her hospital shift. She emerged in scrubs. Took coffee silently. Morning, exchanged. Nothing more. She left. Door closing. House silent. This was victory. I drove past Garrett's old office building later that week, for lease sign in the window. Visual proof of bankruptcy. Continued past his Pearl District condo. Different car in his parking spot. He'd moved to Salem, I'd heard, 40 miles away. Working retail at Target. Studio apartment. The entrepreneur reduced to hourly wages. Not satisfaction, just emptiness. Leo's check arrived from Seattle. $6,000. Note attached in his handwriting. Partial repayment. Thank you for having the courage I lacked. Love, Leo. I put it in my desk drawer. Didn't cash it. Money couldn't fix what broke. Dinner time became a ritual. I'd cook something simple. Knock on Lena's door. Dinner. Not hungry. You need to eat. Later. I'd leave the plate outside her door. Eat alone. Later, the plate would be empty, moved to the kitchen sink. She'd eaten it cold at 2 a.m. Quinn flew in from Chicago. Stood in my doorway, hugged me wordlessly, pulled back, studying my face. Dad, you look exhausted. I am. Where's Lena? Her room. She's not doing well. He knocked on her door. She let him in. I heard their voices through the door for an hour. Couldn't make out words. Quinn emerged. She needs time. And probably therapy. I did this to her. No. Garrett did this. You just pulled the curtain back. Evening. I sat in the living room with an old theater program. 1985. Long day's journey into night. Program worn, pages yellowed. My name listed. Directed by Silas Blackwood. Photo inside. Younger man who looked like a stranger. Lena emerged from her room. Rare. Sat on the couch nearby. Silence for minutes. What play is that? O'Neill. Long day's journey. About a family destroying itself. Appropriate. More silence. Not hostile. Just heavy. Was it worth it, Dad? I didn't answer immediately. Really considered it. I wanted him to face consequences, that's all. Just consequences. He's bankrupt. working at Target in Salem, living in a studio apartment. I know. Pause. Are you asking if I feel good about it? I'm asking if it was worth what it cost. What do you think it cost? My marriage, my peace, my ability to trust anyone. Long silence between us. If I could go back, knowing what I know now, I'd still press charges, even knowing it would destroy me. You're not destroyed. You're hurt. There's a difference. Feels the same. It won't always. I set the program down. Lena, I didn't want revenge. I wanted justice. What's the difference? Revenge is about hurting them. Justice is about truth. And truth hurts anyway. Yeah, it does. She pulled her knees up, looked young, vulnerable. I loved him, Dad. Part of me still does. Isn't that pathetic? No. That's human. Love doesn't shut off like a faucet. I wish it did. Me too. More silence. City sounds filtering through windows. Normal life continuing outside. But you know what I keep thinking? About Mom. He let her die thinking I was sick. That I might die. He let her carry that fear to her grave. I know. That's unforgivable, isn't it? Yes, it is. So maybe it was worth it. Just for her. My eyes filled. Couldn't trust my voice. Just nodded. Quinn watched me stand from the couch that evening. Slower, stiffer. Dad, when's the last time you saw a doctor? I'm fine. You're not. You look 10 years older than 3 months ago. This has been exhausting. Get a checkup, please. After Lena's better. Dad, after. I ran into a theater colleague at Fred Meyer. Silas, saw the news. Good for you. Thanks. How's Lena? She's adjusting. Uncomfortable pause. Well, tell her we're all thinking of her. Walking away, I realized everyone knows everything. Portland is small, not vindication, just exposure. That evening, Lena still on the couch, me in my chair, theater program between us on the coffee table. She picked it up, looked at my photo. You look happy here. I was. I loved directing. Why'd you stop? Got old. Theater wanted younger directors. Do you miss it? Every day. Maybe you could go back. Community theater. Maybe. After I'm better? Don't wait for me, Dad. I might not be better for a long time. That admission. Honest and raw. Then we'll both be broken for a while. That's okay, too. My laptop chimed. Email notification. Beatrice Logan. Subject line. Garrett appeal filed. Lena noticed my face change. What? I showed her the screen. She read, face hardening. Of course he did. Beatrice says it won't succeed. Video evidence is ironclad. How long? Could be a year. A year of this hanging over us. I'm sorry. Don't be. It's who he is. He never stops. We looked at each other. Both exhausted, not defeated. So what do we do? Same thing we've been doing. Keep going. Later, Quinn asleep in the guest room. Lena back in her room. I sat alone in the living room. Late June evening. Still light out. Golden hour through windows. Theater program on the coffee table. Laptop closed. Outside, kids playing. Someone mowing a lawn. Normal life. Inside, disrupted life finding new shape. My face lined, tired, older, not defeated, resigned, accepting. I'd made choices. Choices had consequences. Garrett would appeal. Life would go on. Justice was served. Cost was high. Both things true simultaneously. I closed my eyes, not sleeping, just resting, thinking about that old production. Long day's journey into night. Family destroying itself on stage while audience watched. Life imitating art. The show must go on, even when you're tired of performing. If you like this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions of this story in the comments. To listen to the next story, click on the box on the left. Thank you for watching.